Islam does not believe in freedom of speech. Islam does not believe in freedom of religion. And Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things.
So that was Charlie Kirk. And he was killed yesterday. And let me make something very clear. We do condemn what took place, what happened to him. Because doesn't mean you differ with someone in religious opinions or political opinions, you go and shoot him in front of his children. You can't do that, all right? And also, to make something very clear, I don't know this guy. I mean, people were sending me some of his clips where he said about Islam. So they sent me this clip, which I'm going to respond to. And of course, I'm not expecting him to respond back to me because he's just been killed. But his doubt and misconception should be responded to. Maybe his followers will watch our videos and see this individual who is very ignorant of Islam. And he had no clue about Islam. The other thing, I've heard he was pro-Zionist and justifying the genocide. And that is evil. No human being with a sound intellect will try to justify it, what the Zionists are doing to the people of Gaza. Killing children and women. Okay? But yet, that doesn't mean we should justify what happened to him. Because according to Islamic teaching, even in a Muslim country, which ruled by Sharia, if someone insults the Prophet, insult the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, or insult Islam, it is not for you and I to go and carry out the law. As Imam Ibn Qudama, one of the great scholars of Islam that lived 900 years ago, mentioned. He said there's consensus among the scholars. It's not for anyone to carry out the Islamic law or the Islamic legislation. It is for the authority. So, to now, the second point, to respond to his misinformation about Islam, he said Islam is against or does not believe in freedom of speech. So we say there is nowhere in the world believe or implement freedom of speech without any restrictions. So he said Islam does not believe in freedom of speech completely. It's a lie. Because in Islam there is freedom of speech. However, it is based upon Sharia, the Sharia system. Okay? So, for example, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, and according to Islamic legislation, the Christians are allowed, likewise the Jewish people are allowed to say things which they believe in from their religion. For example, the time of the Prophet ﷺ, when he was ruling the Medina, Jewish people, they used to say, we don't believe you're a true prophet. We believe you're a false prophet. And there's no any narration where the Prophet ﷺ ordered the companions to go and kill Jewish people for believing he's not a true prophet or the Quran, it is not from God. Likewise, when his companions, his disciples were ruling Egypt or Palestine or Jordan, where there were many Christians and Jewish people. So Islam does give the right to people to exercise and their freedom of speech according to Islamic legislation. Likewise in America. In America, there is no absolute freedom of speech. Likewise in Britain, there is no absolute freedom of speech. So every country in the West or the East, they implement freedom of speech according to their law. I mean, they put restrictions to it. So, likewise, when he said there's no freedom of religion, okay, if he meant by there's no freedom of speech, mean that in Islam, if you're a Muslim, you cannot change your religion, then you have to be consistent by, not just, this guy, he passed away, but his followers who have the same belief as him or same opinions. Why no one speaks about what the Jewish people believe? The Judaic law, the Mosaic law. According to Mosaic law, if someone changes religion or does not believe in the God of the Israel or the Israelite, he should be killed. And it is for everyone to implement the law. It is in the Bible. Anyone can go and implement the law. But according to Islamic legislation, I always like to emphasize, in a Muslim country. It is for the authority to implement the law. Alright? And also he mentioned that Islam does not separate the mosque from the state because Islam is a way of life. Allah is not the only God of the people in the mosque. Allah is the God of everyone. The creator, the legislator. That's his creation. And his legislation is based upon justice. When humans legislate things, there's evil desires involved. Bias. People are biased. They will legislate something only for the poor people, not for them. And other than that, and also let me give you something which is very important for the non-Muslims and Islamic haters to hear. According to Islamic legislation, Sharia, the Christians and Jewish people, they are allowed to have their own courts in the Islamic Sharia. And I advise you to read the book by our teacher and Sheikh Abu Iyad Amjad Rafiq about the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Go check on his website Abu Iyad prophetmuhammad.com, and you will there's the PDF there, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah guide those who are sincere, non-Muslims who are sincerely seeking the truth to Islam